Hello students, my name is Alpa Rupala, Assistant Professor from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology, Computer Department. Welcome to the lecture series of Mobile Computing and Wireless Communication. Unit number 3, subtopic GSM. Topics to be covered in this lecture. First of all, we will learn about the GSM channels, then protocol structure, and then authentication and security in GSM.
GSM traffic channels. So first of all, as we have discussed earlier, in frequency allocation of GSM, after FDMA, we are having 125 channels. From that 125 channel, one channel is being separated for SOS purpose and 124 channels are allocated for transmission and control purpose. But in this 124 channel number 1 and 124 is used for spatial control purpose. So we have remained our 122 channels. From this 122 channels, we can say the GSM channels can be divided into two parts. First one is traffic channel, second one is control channel. So from this 122 channels, 90 channels are used for traffic channels and 32 channels are being used for control channels. So ultimately, this 90 channels can be used as a traffic. That means your real information or your real voice data. So ultimately, traffic channels can another be divided into two parts, that are traffic control channel half rate and traffic control channel full rate. So ultimately, this is the full rate and this is the half rate channel. The full rate channel is having the capacity up to 22.8 kbps and the half rate channel is having capacity up to 11.4 kbps. So ultimately, you can say it is the half of this. So number of users can be accommodated more in your half rate channel, but decreasing quality of voice. So efficiency is not that much of good. You can say that voice quality is being decreased. So, but we can increase the number of user. But because of the voice quality decrement, ultimately half rate channel are not being used, but full rate channels are being used. So ultimately, whatsoever your requirement is, according to that, you can divide your available channel into half rate channel and full rate channel. So here are some of the example of full rate channel. Any of, according to your requirement, your full rate channel can be 4.8 kbps, 9.6 kbps, 14.4 kbps. And obviously 22.8 kbps. So these are the example of full rate channels. According to it, half rate channel could be 2.4 according to. So ultimately, GSM channel is divided into two parts, traffic channel and control channel. Now this traffic channel are being used for actual data transfer. Then what is the requirement of control channel? Control channel is most important because before transmitting your actual data, some of the authentication, security and your call routing, all this particular purpose, we require control channels. Now from these 32 channels, further it is being divided into three parts: broadcast control channel, common control channel and dedicated control channel. Okay. So first of all, we are talking about the broadcast control channel and common control channel. Both channel are unidirectional channel. That means we are having two fundamental, your MS, that is mobile station, and BTS. MS can transmit data to BTS and BTS can transmit data to MS. According to it, we can call it uplink and downlink. So here your broadcast control channel and common control channels are unidirectional channel. Either they can send from MS to BTS or BTS to MS. But your third type of channel, that is dedicated control channels, are bidirectional. That means you can send the data in the both the way. BS to MS to BTS and BTS to MS at the same time. So if we talk about the first type, that is broadcast control channel. The broadcast control channel is basically sending data from your BTS to MS. From your BTS to MS. The broadcast control channel is further divided into frequency correction channel and synchronization channel. So frequency correction and synchronization channel, we are using this particular channels to transmit or broadcast signal to your MS regarding the information of which frequency will be used for particular antenna or which time frame is being used for your particular antenna. Because we already know that GSM is using FDD, FDMA and TDMA. So your available frequency is being divided into different frequency part. From that part, which part is being used for your particular antenna, that information will be given by the frequency correction channel. If handover is there, so the frequency correction channel must send another frequency data. Okay, and same as the time information. Likewise, GSM is also using TDMA. So the time information is being sent according to the synchronization channel. So this broadcast control channel is ultimately from BTS to MS only. This channel is being used from BTS to MS only. Next type is common control channel. Common control channel is again having three parts. First one is paging channel, then after random access control channel, and then after access grant channel. So this paging channel, you already know about it. Like in your call routing, we have sent the paging data to find your MS in your foreign network, that at what BTS station your MS is residing. So that information, that paging information is being sent by your paging channel. Ultimately, this paging information is also the revert information. Likewise, MS is also sending the response to your BTS, and that response will be sent from MS to BTS using paging channel. Next one is random access control channel. This information, this particular channel is specially used for authentication purpose. We will see how this random access control channel is transferring data in your next topic, that is authentication and security in GSM. This random access control channel is transmitting the random number from your MS to BTS. Okay, that random number will be used for the calculation of authentication and security. Then after access grant channel, that this channel can be used for your transmission purpose. That information is being sent from your BTS to MS using access grant channel. This channel is also being used in your authentication and security purpose. So we will discuss both the channels in next topic also. Then after, if we talk about the third one, that is dedicated control channel. Dedicated control channel is specifically used as a bidirectional channel. Both the way data can be sent, that is MS to BTS and BTS to MS. The paging response is being sent according to paging channel, but paging data will be sent from your BTS to MS according to this dedicated control channel. Before the transmission or before the allocation of your channel, if we require to transmit the data, then that data will be sent according to dedicated control channel. Before the transmission channel, the data is sent according to the dedicated control channel. Format will be according to this. So it is having three further types: standalone dedicated control channel, slow associated dedicated control channel, and fast associated dedicated control channel. So ultimately, these three channels from the standalone dedicated control channel, they can send data Likewise, authentication purpose data, registration purpose data, security mechanism data, all the data is being transmitted. What channel are, how the channel can be used, what will be the data format to transmit your channel data. That all information will be according to standalone dedicated control channel. Slow and fast is a kind of full rate and half rate. If we are having lesser data, then we will use the slow rate. If we are having the higher data, then we will use the fast rate. So this was all about the GSM traffic channels.
GSM signaling protocol structure. We already know that protocols is nothing but the rules that governs your communication. So the same way how the GSM communication is being governed. So for that particular fundamental we are having one structure that is known as the protocol structure, in which just like your OSI model, here they are also having three type of layers. Here the first one is physical layer, second one is data link layer, and third one is network layer. From this particular pathway is your physical layer, this pathway is your data link layer, and this pathway is your network layer. So ultimately this layer is also behaving device to device interface. So here you are having between MS and BTS, the interface is known as the interface. Between BTS and BSC, ABIS interface, and BSC to MSC A interface. So according to this interface, your protocols can be changed. Likewise, MS to BTS signal is being sent directly like the radio. But from BTS to BSC, at the BTS, your particular data, which is of the voice analog data, can be converted into the PCM, that is pulse code modulation. Now what is PCM? We will discuss about the PCM, how you can convert your analog data into the digital PCM signal. We will discuss in later topics of modulation. So ultimately this PCM data will be of 16 or 64 kbps data rate will be sent over from BTS to BSC and from BSC to MSC. So you can say at the interface, ABIS interface and A interface, your protocols can be changed. So first of all, we are looking for the layer 1, that is physical layer. So ultimately, same as your OSI model, all the real data bit transfer is done according to your physical layer. So if we talk about this, the creation of burst according to the 5 different formats, multiplexing of burst into TDMA frames. Likewise, we also know that GSM using baseline as a TDMA frame structure. So your TDMA phase, according to your data is being formatted according to this TDMA frame structure and also multiplexed according to it. Synchronization with the BTS, detection of the idle channel, measurement of the channel quality on the downlink. So this all is done according to your physical layer. Next layer is data link layer. The data link layer is using a special kind of protocol, that is LAPD protocol. The full form is Link Access Procedure for D channel. D channel is nothing but what your data channel. In your traffic channel, in your GSM channel, you are having two type of channel, control channel and traffic channel. Traffic channel can also be known as the data channel. But what we are using over here, we are using the LAPDM. LAPDM. This is the lightweighted version of LAPD. We are using the lightweighted version of LAPD in the interface. So ultimately, if we talk about in your OSI, the data link layer is basically working for the error control and flow control. But in GSM, your physical layer is taking all the part of error control according to forward error correction techniques. So the remaining part or the lightweighted version is doing some of the error correction or detection technique on your data. But the flow control mechanism is fully depend on your data link layer. So not like your OSI and TCP, data link layer is only focusing on your flow control. All the error control mechanism is being done at the physical layer only. So this was all about the data link layer. Next one is network layer. The network layer is again divided into three different protocols that are RR, MM and CM. The RR is radio resource, MM is mobility management and CM is call management. So this is, you can say, like your application layer, all the higher component is being handled by this three protocols. Ultimately, if we are talking about the radio resource, then they are basically responsible for setup, maintenance and release of your radio channel, or you can say allocation and deallocation also. Mobility management is basically working for registration, authentication, identification, location update of your MS, all this temporary information transfer that will be done by your mobility management protocol. Obviously, with the use of your control channels. And then after the call management, likewise the call control, SMS and then supplementary services, all the data is being done, transferred, done according to the call management protocol. So this was all about the GSM signaling protocol structure. Authentication and security in GSM. Ultimately, if we say that authentication and security means that your data which is being transferred is secure or not, and authentication means your caller is calling from your GSM operator network. So the caller is eligible for calling or not. That all fundamentally is known as the authentication and security in GSM. The first basic service offered by GSM in this concern is access control and authentication. Okay, basically how this particular fundamental is being carried out, we will discuss in the algorithm later on. Second one is confidentiality. Ultimately, your data is being transmitted by encryption. And last one is anonymity. That means your user is hidden to any another user. And how it is hidden in your network, we will see later. So this three topic is being covered in a three basic algorithm. The first algorithm is algorithm A3, that is authentication. This algorithm is working very normally, like your random number is being accessed by the random access channel of your GSM control channel, and it is being accessed through the access grant channel. The access grant channel is sending the random number by the use of the random access channel, and that number will be sent to your mobile network and your SIM card. Now each and every SIM is having one private key, and that private key is being stored in your AUC register. So ultimately your mobile network, in your AUC register, you are having the private key, and in your SIM card you are having the private key. Now your access control channel will send the random number to your AUC register and to SIM card. Now at the both end, ultimately you are having the same private key which is of 128 bit, random number which is of 128 bit each. Now this input is same. Okay, random number and private key, both the input is same. So ultimately you are applying to the same algorithm, that is A3 algorithm, then output should be same. So Your random number and private key according to A3 algorithm will give you the serial response of 32-bit. So ultimately at your MSC, whenever you are calling, it will send the authentication request to your AUC register, and AUC register will respond it via the response signal, and same as this fundamental will be carried out to your mobile station, and both the response signal will be compared at your MSC for authentication purpose. So this is what the A3 algorithm of your GSM mobile. Second one is privacy key generation. Same, your random number will be of 128-bit key, and KI, that is your private key, that is also of 128-bit, and both will be given to your A8 algorithms input, and it will give you the cipher key of 64-bit. Now this cipher key is being used at your algorithm A5. Likewise, mobile station is having A8 algorithm cipher key. SIM card is also having random number and private key. Using A8 algorithm, you can have the 64-bit cipher key. Now using this cipher key, your data by using A5 algorithm, which is the encryption algorithm, will encrypt your data, and then after it will be sent through and back to your MS and BTS. So now MS and BTS will have the data which is the encrypted form. So ultimately they are you are having three algorithms, that is A3, A8 and A5. So this is all the fundamental of authentication and security in GSM. Now anonymity, that means TMSI number, which we have already seen your call routing in GSM. That is for that purpose only. So in this lecture, we have learned about the GSM channels and protocol structure. Thank you. We will meet in our next lecture.